And so we have a short presentation for all of you. Hopefully the presenters will take 10 minutes presenting the different systems that we have in California. And we'll go down the list here. Hopefully Jose is going to join us either in a couple of minutes or hopefully he's here already. But I'll just let people introduce themselves by the order that you see on the screen.
Hi there, I am Amanda Mansfield and I am from Santa Rosa Junior College. I'm one of the academic counselors there.
It's Jose here. So I don't see Jose on our list.
I'm not sure if Jose is on. I'm going to message the one Jose that we have. He doesn't have a last name listed, so I'm thinking it may not be Jose Padilla.
Okay. So Jose Padilla is an admissions counselor from Sonoma State University. He's done our college night or college information night, in the past. So hopefully he'll join us, later on tonight. And then we have.
I'm Josie Benez. I'm one of the assistant directors in undergraduate admissions at the University of San Francisco, and I'm happy to be here. This is my first time with you, but hopefully not my last. Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Josie, and you've already met Mr. Flores and I. So also with us tonight, we have our assistant principal and our principal, and if they can just go ahead and, wave so that people know that you're here.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Marks, your assistant principal.
Hi, this is Bill Halliday, principal. Welcome to the event. Glad you're here.
So just so you know, the way we're going to do this, we've asked each panelist to bring their own slides. So we're going to move from one slide to the next, okay? But before we start talking about SRJC information, there are a few things that we like all of our students to know. I usually tell students, don't ever say no to free money. So we do have a couple of workshops regarding on how to apply for financial aid once you're in college. We are going to have our Cash for College workshop, which is actually staffed by an SRJC financial aid person who is very knowledgeable in that. And whenever Kelly or Miss Mates and I have questions about financial aid, this is the person whom we called, and she's very accessible. And one of the things that you'll find out is that at the end of the workshop, she usually gives her cell phone number out, so you can contact her. So that's very nice of her. So please join us on October 14th. Via Zoom again, and the Zoom link will be emailed to all the seniors. So make sure you're checking your HUSD email account to see where the Zoom links are. Also, you can go to our PSL, our counseling PSL website, or the college and career website where those Zoom links will be listed. Obviously, the presentation will be in English and Spanish. So seniors, if you need help completing your UC or CSU application, we're going to have 4 different workshops to help you with the application process. We ask you to please, complete the bare minimum, which is create an application, write your name, put your name in there, add, the address and that sort of information, and come back to these workshops with questions so that we can answer those questions that you have. CSUs, we'll have a CSU workshop in a couple of weeks. Actually, that's next week, the 7th. And we'll have UC workshops in November. We'll have 2 of those. Also, if you have any questions, please use the chat function, and either Mr. Holliday or Ms. Marks will try to answer those, or they'll interject in here and try to get our attention to see if we can answer that, because I can't see the chat function in this setting that I have here. Okay, so these are the topics of today. So we're going to talk about the JC. We're going to talk about our CSU system, our UC system, private colleges and universities. We have USF, but she'll also talk about, the system as a whole, and we'll briefly talk about out-of-state colleges. Ms. Mays, you're up.
Excellent. So we've actually already been into the senior English classes and have given them a whole ton of information about what they should be doing right now. We did a presentation month by month, what they need to be doing. So the most important thing to remember for senior year is to stay organized. You want to keep track of your deadlines. Naviance is a good way to do that. You want to hopefully you already have a resume that you've been working on since freshman year. You want to update that, include a parent's brag sheet so that that's part of the counselor letter of recommendation request that you can find on the counselor communication PSL page. So it's important you create files for various documents where you can put all of the things that get sent to you, whether you do that electronically or old school pen and paper, whatever system is going to work for you. Get started on it now. It's very, very important. Senior year grades do matter. You need to maintain your academic standing, C's or better, in all of your A through G courses. Avoid the inevitable senioritis. So we talked to all of the seniors about this already. They could probably tell you a little bit about that. And we're always available here. Reach out if you need anything. Next up is juniors. So juniors, you are in college and career seminar right now. You're going to be updating your resume, doing a lot of career interest inventories as you get started on your internship project. So keep an activity sheet in addition to your resumes. Add to it everything that you do. It could go on your resume, it can be on a separate sheet. You want to get using Naviance. You can log into Naviance through Clever. There's different assignments that'll be part of junior seminar that'll help, and you can use that to investigate or to research different colleges as well as college majors and careers. So it's a really good resource for our students here to use. And stay up to date on information about college entrance exams. It'll be posted on the counselor communication PSL page. Getting ready for our first presenter.
Great, I think that's me. So my name is Amanda Mansfield and I'm a counselor at Santa Rosa Junior College. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here to give everyone a look at Santa Rosa Junior College. I'm gonna give a brief overview of the college today and what we have to offer students who are interested in attending. So first off, we do have 2 campus sites, the Santa Rosa Junior College campus in Santa Rosa, and then we have the Petaluma campus as well. So if you're looking for a change of scenery, you can take classes in Petaluma. And we have a wonderful library at both sites, state-of-the-art technology, and our programs can be accessed at both sites as well. We have a public safety training center in Windsor where our programs such as EMT, fire technology, or our academies are held. We have Schoen Farm where many of our agricultural programs take place. And then we have the Southwest Santa Rosa Center where some of our language programs are held. We have online classes available every semester, not just right now while everyone's online, but we do have those available for students who need flexibility in their schedules. And then we actually also offer a study abroad opportunity for our junior college students. So a lot of people aren't aware, but we have programs that take place rotating in Barcelona, London, and Florence so that can be an opportunity for you to take advantage of if you are interested in a study abroad program while at the JC. A couple of things I like to highlight every year while talking to the seniors who are curious about the community college. A lot of times I get asked, what kind of a feel does the community college have compared to a four-year college. And we actually are a very active campus community. We have championship athletics teams. We have an active forensics team, theater arts, music departments, a summer repertory theater, which maybe some of you have attended and seen some of those performances. But we also have extraordinary faculty that have taught at various levels, you know, from UCs and private colleges who also teach at the JC. And we have small class sizes, so a lot of discussion-based courses and interaction with your professors, which is very nice. So those are a few highlights and things I like to talk about when introducing the community college. So why attend SRJC? There are a range of options. There's something for everyone at the JC. But oftentimes when you are finishing up high school, you're not always exactly ready to commit to a major. And so sometimes it can be hard to think about attending a four-year university and working towards a bachelor's degree when you don't know what you want to do yet. So SRJC is a great place to explore some of your goals that you have and your interests and build some of those foundational college skills if you feel like you need some more time with English or math. But we also have opportunity for people who know they want to transfer, right? Students that say, I want to spend a couple years here at home, save some money and then transfer, or I'm not sure I want to transfer to a four-year college. Maybe an associate's degree is a better fit for me. That's an option. And we also have wonderful career technical certificates for folks that are looking to gain job skills and start working as soon as possible. So we have a range of courses and programs available. And sometimes we have students that start here just to kind of figure out what they're good at, what they enjoy, and they'll earn a certificate and start working in a field, and then they'll come back and earn an associate's degree and then say, yeah, I think I want to transfer. And it's wonderful to see that progress for students who come in and aren't sure what they want to do yet. So we help students with all of those items at SRJC. So a couple highlights regarding degrees and certificates. We actually award more than 2,000 associate's degrees every year and about 2,500 career education certificates each year, which means students are coming through, they're excited, they're finishing their programs, and they're getting out into the workforce, which is great. And then nearly 80% of students that attend SRJC who apply to the UC system are accepted. So if you are one of those students who maybe wasn't quite ready for the UCs right out of high school, or maybe you didn't qualify for the UCs, but you have a dream of attending, SRJC is a wonderful place to get started, do your general education, and prepare for transfer. And in Sonoma County, about 40% of Sonoma County high school graduates that attend college in the fall actually enroll at SRJC. So chances are you all know somebody who's attended, and you can, ask your questions, see how their experience was. But we are a great resource for high school graduates here. So a little bit more about transfer and what we offer, right? We offer during the couple years that you spend at the JC, you will be working on general education courses, which is primarily what all students do during their first couple years at university. So you'll be doing those basic general ed courses such as English, math, science, history, and so on, and working on major preparation. So whatever major you decide, you get some of those beginning classes under your belt in preparing for transfer or picking a major to get an associate's degree. So many university degrees actually start out at junior colleges. So a lot of students say, well, is it the same type of education that I'm going to be getting if I go straight to a four-year university? And you will be completing the general education that you would also do at many four-year universities. And again, there's some percentages and numbers here regarding the type of programs that we have for students. So as far as our student services go, we are really big on connecting with our students and trying to help our students find their path and feel like they are a part of the college so that they feel confident navigating the college system. We have a career development center on campus, which helps students get internships and jobs related to the careers that maybe they're questioning, maybe they want to go into, or they just want some experience in those fields to decide if it's right for them. That also help students get jobs outside and practice resume writing and those sorts of things. We have a wonderful transfer center for students once they do decide they want to transfer, and if they have specific target schools, we have a couple of counselors that can work very closely with you in tailoring your educational plans. We have a dream center for some of our undocumented students who want to come to Santa Rosa Junior College, and I have another slide on that later. Disability resources for our students who have IEPs that would like to continue getting services while attending the JC, and then a wonderful student health services and counseling office. And again, academic supports. We have a library, a math lab, a tutoring center, and a writing center available for students to do group tutoring or individualized tutoring, accessible at both of our campuses. We also have something that's nice about the JC and the small classes and the interaction with your counselors and instructors is we're able to have cohorts. If you feel like you would like to join a learning community, it really helps students sometimes get that support they need for a transition into college life. If you would like to form some close relationships with students in your similar situation and make a connection with a counselor and a teacher, we have some of those options as well. But really, we want to make sure that our students feel welcomed. We have a welcome center now functioning on campus that I encourage anyone who's interested in attending Santa Rosa Junior College to contact. They can walk you through the application process and what it's like to get started at Santa Rosa Junior College, the financial aid piece, signing up for classes, registering. So our Welcome Center is there to help everyone become more engaged and feel empowered starting off at SRJC. Okay, dual enrollment. Most of you probably know from speaking with your own counselors that you can take classes as a high school student to get kind of a leg up going into college. You can take college courses and you are not actually paying for those classes. Your fees are waived as a high school student. So if you want to try out the JC, see how it feels and get some college credits under your belt, I encourage you to enroll in a class and talk to your counselor about how to do that. Okay, and if you are considering starting next fall, you will want to obviously fill out an application. Our applications are real time. Once you apply, you get into the community college. So you just fill out the application and get a student ID number. And then we encourage everyone to do an orientation, which is you're guided to that once you actually apply to get used to the school and how college works. And then call a counselor to start developing your educational plan and what courses to take during your first semester. Those are the basic steps to getting started at SRJC. I want to highlight that it's about $46 a unit for California residents at SRJC. And that is a great deal for the education that you would be getting there. Oftentimes books cost more than the fees themselves. And I'm glad Ever mentioned that he's doing a Paying for College workshop at the high school. We encourage everybody to fill out the FAFSA. It's free, see what you qualify for. Most of our students actually don't end up paying for their classes at the JC. So between scholarships and FAFSA, there are many different ways to pay for college. So financial aid, FAFSA, fill it out. And it's usually due October 1st for the fall semester, the upcoming fall semester. And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead, since I've got about a minute left, and just highlight the differences between high school and college. Santa Rosa Junior College is not only a beautiful campus, as you can see behind me, but it's also a real college, and we have expectations for you. So, you know, what you're doing in high school, you do step it up a little bit at the JC, right? We expect study time, and responsibility of our students moving forward as adults. We welcome that, and we're here to support you as you embark on your college journey. So I have some websites here. Feel free to follow up on these or ask your counselor how to get in touch with me if you have questions about educational plans and those sorts of things as well. And thank you guys for having me tonight. I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Amanda. So next, I just want to remind our panelists that we have a 10-minute limit per panelist. And Amanda, thank you for keeping track of your time. And we'll do Q&As at the end of the session. And it looks like Mr. Holliday and Ms. Marks are keeping track of those. Next, we have our CSU representative, Jose Padilla from SSU.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we're going to go ahead and get started and talk about a little bit about the CSU system and who we are. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Jose Padilla. I'm an enrollment advisor for Sonoma State University. Today I'm going to talk to you guys just a little bit about the California State University, who we are, and what we offer for your students as an option. So the CSU system is the largest university system in the country with 23 campuses. We have nearly 474,000 students enrolled in our beautiful campuses with over 49,000 faculty. Why the CSU? Because we provide high quality, accessibility, affordability, and student-focused education. The CSU campuses are distinct based on the student population and program. So as you see, we come all the way from the north, from Humboldt, all the way to San Diego State. So we have a little bit of everything for your student. If your student wants to experience the beach, then of course, Southern California would be great institutions for them. If they want to experience the outdoors, Sonoma, Humboldt, those are great options for them as well. Or if they want to go to a big city, San Francisco, San Jose, those are some of the campuses that we have to offer for them. We do have a little more than 1,800 bachelor's degrees and a little over 1,800 bachelor's and master's degrees, and 300 plus subject areas for your students to choose from. As far as we're talking about CSU campuses and in the Bay Area, so these are close to you. So these are your home campuses. So, Maritime, Monterey, East Bay, Sonoma, San Francisco, and San Jose. And you can get, a wide range of different students, a wide range of each of the universities from small to large, depending on the student population in each of these universities. Some of the benefits and the contributions of the CSU system, of course, we are the nation's largest four-year public university system. 95% of our students come from California. 88% of our students are from public schools, so these are first-time freshmen. 92% of our new transfers are from our California community colleges, such as Santa Rosa Junior College. We provide the state's greatest producer of bachelor's degree. We drive the California economy, where it's agriculture, information technology, business, hospitality, life science, and so forth. And then the CSU is the largest source of educators. More than half of the newly state's credential teachers are from the CSU system. We have a little over 3 million alum, and then 1 in 10 members of the California workforce is from the CSU system. And of course, we have implemented our CSU GI 2025 to increase the graduation rate for all CSU system students while eliminating the opportunity and achievement gaps as well. So what can your students study at the CSU system? We have, a range of majors, from nursing to hospitality and tourism, from biological science, aviation. So you name it, we have it. It's in one of our 23 CSU campuses. So that's that's one of the things that makes us unique, that most of the majors that we have and offer are majors that we call learn by doing, where students are not just sitting in a classroom and they're just sitting at a lecture. They're actually going outside the classroom and learning the new things and what's driving the 21st century workforce as well. So the CSU admissions overview. So as far as our first year students, this is what we look for when students are applying to any of our 23 CSU campuses. One is that they're a high school graduate. Two, that they complete the 15 A through G courses with at least a C- or better, and earn a qualifying eligibility index. So as far as the A through G courses, this is the list of the A through G courses that we look for, and these are the minimum requirements. So the 2 years of social science, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, and so forth, as you can see. And you'll see why I say this is just the minimum requirements that we look for. And then as far as the SATs and ACTs, we do require either one of or, but we do not require the students to take the essay portion, nor do we require students to do the subject test. And then we do recommend our students to take the SATs, and the reason that is because we super score. So if we see in the
Jose, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I heard that the CSU system is not requiring the SATs anymore, and that they
correct.
changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure if this was only for senior students or other students were on there, because we haven't made a decision yet for juniors that right now. We have made a decision for anybody that's a senior and it's applying to our CSU. Yeah, and I'll cover that a little bit right now. And then the eligibility index, this is how you would figure it out if you were planning to apply to a CSU. Now, due to COVID-19, the CSU system has made changes to their admissions policy. The first one is grading. So if any of your students during any of their years took courses and those courses turn into credit or pass as fulfilling the A through G requirement during the winter, spring, or summer 2020 terms, and then all other coursework must be graded in a grade of C- or better must be earned for courses to satisfy the A through G requirements. Grades of credit, pass, or no credit, no pass will not be included in the calculation of their high school GPA. Now, from whatever we're saying, the SATs and ACTs, the CSU will temporarily suspend the use of the SATs and ACTs for all CSU campuses for the 2021-22 academic year. So now as a first-time freshman, when you're applying to our 23 CSU campuses, these are the three things that we're looking at. One, that you're a high school graduate or equivalent, that you complete those 15 unit comprehensive A through G pattern, and then that you get a GPA. And then the minimum GPA that we're looking across the board is a 2.5, but keep in mind if you're applying to an impacted campus, impacted major, those are gonna look for other criteria as far as, if you've done any extracurricular activities, or maybe if you work and things like that. Each CSU is gonna determine if the student doesn't meet the minimum requirements, what else they can look for when they're applying to the university for the student to be admitted. And then for transfer students, just a little bit different, 60 semester units, the Golden 4 classes, the 2.0, and be in good standing in the last institution. But because of COVID-19, we are gonna be taking credit or pass for courses completed in the winter, spring, or summer of 2020 to satisfy the Golden 4, all GEs, and the major prerequisite courses. And then you can start applying to any of our CSUs on October 1st. And then this time we have extended our application to December 4th. And it is gonna be $70 for each application, so for each CSU that you apply. And then as far as impaction goes, when I was talking about the minimum requirements, we do have campuses that are impacted. So they're gonna be looking for students to have done, 4 years of math, 3 or 4 years of a science course, especially if they are planning to apply to an impacted major such as an engineering program or the science or nursing as well. So these are non-impacted campuses. So that means that these campuses will admit your students at the minimum requirements that we're looking for if they're not applying to an impacted major. And then these are all the impacted campuses that, you know, have different admissions requirements as far as they look for their students when they're applying to their universities. The average cost, so this is just kind of what the average cost is between, you know, a university like Sonoma State, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Fresno, San Francisco. So it's just to give you a difference of how each of the universities charge as far as tuition goes, and then of course everything else that comes with it as well.
Jose, you have about 1 minute left.
All right, perfect. Tips and resources, preparation is key. So explore the campuses, get to know each of the campuses that you're planning to apply to. Why? That way you will get to know what their requirements are, what type of majors they offer, and what they're looking for as far as students applying into them. Attend that Cash for College workshop to know how to pay for college, and then apply early as well. That's a key thing. You want to apply early so that way you start hearing from us early. And remember that when you apply to us and you're admitted, your admissions is conditional. So don't flake that senior year, because if you do, then we're going to rescind your admission. So it's important that you continue your senior year to meet those admissions requirements. And then some resources, Cal State Apply, go on there, and that would be the best way for you to find everything you know about any of the CSUs. Other than that, if you guys have any questions or concerns, here's my contact information. Reach out to me at any time, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Jose.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, seniors, you know, you don't need your SATs or ACTs. Okay, so don't panic. Okay, I don't want to get a whole bunch of emails saying, oh, I haven't taken my SATs. All right, so then next we have our UC system. We usually have Donna Brenner, who is actually a reader for Healdsburg. She's the admissions officer at UC Berkeley. She sends her regards. She's in another Zoom right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do the presentation for her. Just give me a couple of seconds here to get that. Okay, so the University of California system is another state university system in the state of California. We just had a CSU person go up, and then now this is our other system that we have. We have 9 undergraduate campuses. There are 10 UC campuses throughout the state. However, the one at UC San Francisco, it's a graduate level school. They don't usually accept undergraduates. So these are the 9 campuses that you can apply to. Davis, Berkeley, Santa Cruz, Merced, that's a brand new one. Santa Barbara, LA, Irvine, Riverside, and San Diego. So due to COVID, you know, our UC and CSC system have been very clear as to, you know, they're not going to be looking at SATs or ACTs for the requirements. Our UC system does a comprehensive review. They look at 14 different factors that you can see here. We crossed that one, so that leaves 13 different factors that they're going to be looking at. This information is really, yes.
Your slides are not advancing, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all I'm seeing is introducing the University of California. So.
Did it go now?
Everybody, but.
Can you see it? Is it going or no?
No.
All right, let me reshare it. Sorry about that. Interesting. All right, from current slide. Again, can you see it?
There we go. Good work.
Can you see the next slide? Yes.
Yes, 9 undergraduate campuses.
Okay.
We just went through, and now the freshman comprehensive review. Excellent.
Perfect. So going to be very fast on this. This is readily available to all of you by doing a quick search on Google. These are the things that UC campuses are looking for. And as you can see, test scores has been crossed out because they're completely test blind for this coming year. And it looks like they might be test blind for the year after next and after that. But for sure, we know for our seniors right now, they don't need to take the ACT or SATs for UC or CSU. So this is the explanation of the holistic review. They crossed out once again test scores because they're not reviewing those. If you did end up taking the SATs or ACTs, some UCs will be, will give it added value, like, like an extra sport or an extra activity that you might have done, but they're not going to look at it as an academic sort of review because not everyone had the same sort of opportunity to take the SATs or ACTs this last time around. The other thing that is really, a bit important for the UCs is the interview that they have. You may ask, well, Mr. Flores, UCs don't interview. And I would say, well, they do actually interview you. They're called personal insight questions. There are 8 of them, and then you get to pick 4. And I think it goes, we say this year after year, and yet 1 or 2 students end up doing, exactly what we tell them not to do, which is write a comprehensive or narrative essay or a haiku or a poem of some sort. And it's a missed opportunity for you as a student to showcase your life and what you've done. You have, very limited space to talk about you. And this is exactly what colleges are looking for, our UC system's looking for. They want to get to know you, not necessarily your grandparents or your parents, but you as an individual in the context of our community and school. So I think I already answered these. These are the sort of things that our UC readers opt to learn from you once you answer those questions. And please, provide, direction as to what it is that you're looking for. Is there anything else you want to add to this, Ms. Mace?
Well, I want to add that there's no better prompt one or the other. So they're all equal. So you just pick the 4 that you can best answer or that would give the best information about why UC should pick you or why you're a good fit for the school. But if you pick 1 over 7, it doesn't really matter. They're all equal. So just pick the ones that you can answer to the best of your abilities. And again, remember, this is an opportunity for you to showcase yourself. It's okay to brag. It's really important that you give them as much detail and insight into who you are as possible. And like it says on the slide, each one of the question aligns to something that is the 14 or 13 comprehensive review factors. So give them that information.
We are going to have a few UCs come to Healdsburg via Zoom, and I'm sure they're going to say this, but I did go to one of their workshops, and I took copious notes as to what it is that they're looking for besides what I wrote in there. They're looking for an authentic voice. They want to hear you, not your parents or whomever is helping you with that. They want to hear your voice. Bring it back to you. Family situations may be difficult, but they want to learn more about how you dealt with a difficult sort of situation that you were in. And give as many examples as possible and have someone that doesn't know you that well read it and see if they get a good sort of, view as to who you are. Ms. Mays did say something very important last time when we did this presentation with seniors, that have someone that knows you read it too, just in case you might have missed something. Okay, so but having someone that doesn't know you and ask those sort of questions about, did you get a good idea as to who I am by reading these 4 questions, may give you some sort of insight as to what direction you need to take. Window starts actually November 1st. You can actually start completing your UC application now. I think you can. It was available August 1st. The fee for this hasn't changed. Our CSU fee went up a little bit. Now they're both $70 each. And this is important. There's no early action or early decision in our UC system at all. And this is the website where you go and apply to all 9 campuses. University of California.edu /apply. Okay, and that is the last slide that I have for a UC system. And I still have 2.5 minutes remaining. I yield my time. Next, we have our private institutions who will talk about a little bit about USF and on how to apply to private institutions as a whole. So Josie.
Well, hello, thank you for having me today. And so I think with the University of San Francisco, we think the most important thing for you to consider is the fit of your college choice. For us, we think there's 3 things that stand out. First is we are a Jesuit school, so we really promote the Jesuit values. Our goal is to educate the students, not just academically, but also ethically and socially. We believe in cura personalis, so social justice is an important component of the education you receive at the University of San Francisco. We are a mid-sized school. We have just under 7,000 undergraduate students. And so that affects your ability to build community. There's 3 things that you really need to be working on as a college student. The first, maybe not obvious, is to finish your degree. The second is to start building your network. And your network can include your family and friends. It can include your peers. It can include your faculty. Because of the size of the campus, we have small class sizes. Our average class size for your lower division classes is 23 students, is 1 to 23. Our biggest class is about 70. And none of our classes are taught by graduate assistants or teacher's assistants. They're all taught by faculty. One of the other things that sets us apart is actually our location. Because of our location, the third thing you should be working on, I forgot to mention the third thing, is experience. So Amanda mentioned doing internships, so you get a feel for what the field you're going to be in is like. That's important. Those experiences also make you more valuable as you leave college. And so those are 3 things that we think you should be working on as you're a student. So how do you become a student at the University of San Francisco? A lot of private colleges use the Common Application. The one thing I should caution you with the Common Application is that there are 2 writing sections. There's one writing section that every college that has access to the Common Application gets to read. The second has a prompt that's specifically for that school. What's really important for you to do when you are writing that second application is to really be thoughtful and consider the question that they're asking you. For the University of San Francisco, we want to know what is it that you expect to gain from us, and what do you think you can contribute to our campus community? Oftentimes, as I read applications, I will sometimes see students mention another school in the essay that is written for us. Please, please proofread your essays and make sure you go through them. And it's fine if you use a similar essay for each school, but please be thoughtful and just make sure you proofread. University of San Francisco has been test optional since 2019. So we know that sometimes your test scores are not, that don't demonstrate what you're really capable of. So if you're a student that doesn't test well, then there's no need to share your test scores with us. If you've got great test scores and you're proud of them, then by all means share them. But whether or not you submit test scores is not going to affect your admissions decision. For this year, letters of recommendation are optional. If you have letters of recommendation available, then by all means send them forward. If you're having difficulty receiving them or getting a hold of them, then then you don't have to submit them. We know this year is, as we all know, is very unusual. And so you don't maybe have ready access to your teachers and to your teachers and also to your counselors to get those letters of recommendation. So if you don't have them, that's fine. It's not going to affect your admissions decision. This year, we're also allowing unofficial transcripts, and there's not a minimum GPA for you to apply to us. Again, we want to take away as many barriers as we can for you to apply. We do have application waivers. They're kind of hidden in the application. If you go in the questions section, it's the third or fourth question. It asks if you qualify for a DONS fee waiver. If you mark that yes, then your application fee will be waived. Otherwise, the application fee is $70. So these are the dates and deadlines that you need to pay attention to as you're applying to the University of San Francisco. We do have early decision and early action. That deadline is November 1st. You should have your application in by then. Most of the students that apply during this time period apply early action. And early action simply means you want to know ahead of time whether or not you're admissible so you can start making plans as to where you're going to attend. Early decision, if you're admitted, is a binding agreement between you and the university that if we admit you, you will come and attend in the fall. If you apply early decision or early action, we send our decisions out via US Postal Service, and we send those out before we leave for winter break. So you will get your decision sometime in mid-December. The majority of our students apply regular action, and the regular action deadline is January 15th. If you apply for January 15th, then your admissions decision will arrive via US Postal Service sometime in mid-March. Sometime in mid-April, is when you will get the financial aid packet from the University of San Francisco. And your financial aid packet is going to include information about what federal resources are available to you, what state resources are available to you, and also what institutional resources are available to you. And I'll talk about the institutional resources shortly. The deposit deadline for most schools is May 1st, and that's when you make a decision about where you're going to attend in the fall. So this is the tuition and fees currently for the University of San Francisco. Don't let those prices there keep you from applying to the university. 90% of our students receive a financial aid packet, and our average award packet is about $36,000. That means some people get more, some people get less. Our average merit scholarship is about $18,000. So as I mentioned, there are two resources that you can receive from the University of San Francisco. The first is the merit scholarship. University of San Francisco recalculates the grades, the GPA for every student that applies to us. We base that recalculation on just your core classes, math, science, social science, English, foreign language, and any AP or IB courses that you take. The AP and IP courses are weighted, so they give you a little bit of an advantage. But based on that calculation, the GPA that we come up with, you'll be awarded a sum of money. If you come in with at least a 2.95 and above, you're going to be awarded something. And whatever we award you is available to you for 4 years.
Josie, I just
Yes.
have to remind you that we have simultaneous translation, and,
Okay.
and you're going a little bit too fast.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so the second resource that's available is our need-based aid. So sometimes students will apply for federal aid and not receive the Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is the federal need-based aid. We use information from the FAFSA to determine whether or not you are eligible for a need-based grant. If you're awarded a need-based grant, then that's also awarded to you for 4 years. So you don't have to apply for it for either the merit scholarship or the need-based grant. You don't have to apply for either one of those. They're automatically awarded to you based on your GPA, your recalculated GPA, or the information that's available in your FAFSA. And so this is how to get a hold of me. You can also email admission@usfca.edu. Our job, as an admissions counselor, my job is to make sure you have the information that you need so that as you're making a decision about where to attend, then you're confident in that decision. If you can, follow us on Instagram. We provide a lot of different resources for students there. We announce when the admissions decisions are going out. We offer a lot of different workshops too. Currently, we're offering our Dawn to Prepare workshop, which is meant to help college students, high school students understand the ins and outs of applying for school. We had one recently for the interview, how to prepare for the college interview. And we recorded that. So those recordings are available on our website for anybody who's interested. And that is actually all I prepared for today. So if you have other questions, I'll answer them later.
And you're right on cue, actually. So let's see here. And I have a couple more slides to show the rest of the folks here. If you bear with me here. Share. Can you see that? Yes? Okay. So these are the options for private schools. The reason why, we have so many is because you'll have a varied sort of opportunities to apply to a multitude of different private schools. And like Josie said, don't let the sticker price shock you. A lot of these institutions may offer institutional aid to assist you with that sticker, that sticker price. Let me see if, did it move to the next one? Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. So here in California and throughout the state, a lot of the schools, even USF, uses the Common App as a way to apply for these schools. There are over 900, I want to say, Common App schools where you can apply and submit just one application to a myriad and a multitude of colleges, from USF to, St. Mary's College to Stanford and Harvard, right? So you have, varied sort of institutions in one application. The admissions, just like Josie mentioned, varies from institution to institution, okay? There are early decisions, early actions, priority deadlines that we ask you to keep an eye. Some of the private institutions may have rolling admissions, which means you are welcome to apply at any time during your senior year, okay? Especially if you didn't get into your top one or two schools. I mean, some schools out there will do rolling admissions throughout the year. They do comprehensive reviews. It's not just the grades, it's not just your test scores. Some of these colleges will ask you to submit a letter of recommendation from your teachers, from your school counselors, and they'll ask you to complete essays as a way to interview. And sometimes they will even interview you. I will highly suggest that you go and see Josie's presentation on how to conduct an interview, to see if you can get some, good pointers out of that one. We are a Naviance school, so Naviance is linked with Common App. So we ask you to make sure that you log into your Naviance and link them. If you don't know how to do that, make an appointment with your school counselor. We're doing senior checks, next week. Ms. May's already started. I'm starting mine tomorrow. If you have questions about this, well, a fair question to ask during our senior checks. And that's all I have, because there's quite a bit more information to talk about private colleges, but I just wanted to note a couple of more things about these private colleges. And then next we have out-of-state institutions, Ms. Mace.
Yeah, thank you. So there are, out-of-state colleges that they may or may not use the Common App. We here are, experts in the CSU system and the UC, If you are interested in out-of-state colleges, you definitely want to look on their websites. They may or may not follow the A through G requirements, and it's important that if you're interested in going to one of those schools, that you are looking at what they require, like like Oregon State, right? They ask for 3 years of science, and A through G only asks for 2. So that's information that you want to be looking at. You can find that on the school's website under their admissions page. If you are looking at out-of-state schools, the cost can get pretty expensive for out-of-state tuition, but there is a program called WUI, or the Western Undergraduate Exchange. And if you are going to an out-of-state public school in one of these states listed here that participates in WUI, then you could be eligible to pay 150% of the tuition. So if in-state tuition is $10,000, you would pay $15,000. So it's an excellent program that can help cut the cost of the out-of-state tuition. So that's good. And to be clear, so we've gone through a lot of different information. You know, the CSU system, they follow the A through Gs, and you're just submitting your GPA and your information. Nothing else. You self-report. You don't have to submit any essays or anything. UCs, you're going to self-report your grades, and you're going to submit the 4 personal insight questions. Private colleges, you're going to link up with Naviance for Common App, where we will send the transcript through Naviance. You will submit essays for those, as well as self-reporting your grades. And then out-of-state schools, it all varies. So you want to make sure you're working with your school counselor if you have any questions in order to navigate all of the different systems.
Okay, so this brings us to the end of our presentation. I know it looks like the chat room was a little bit busy. I'm going to ask Mr. Holliday or Ms. Marks if there were any questions that we weren't able to answer. We're going to do Q&As for the next 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll end our webinar. Mr. Holliday.
Okay, well, first, thanks to the presenters, and thanks Ms. Mace and Mr. Flores for your information tonight. It's well received. We've been keeping up with the questions on our Q&A here at Zoom and also on the Facebook Live, and we've really addressed all the questions that have come up so far. The only one I want to repeat is that we'll be posting this presentation on our Facebook page, the Healdsburg High School Facebook page, and on our website in both Spanish and English, probably within the next 24 hours. So families who want to review this and get more information can do so there.
Well, if you don't have any questions, this concludes our webinar. Once again, thank you to all our panelists. Thank you to all the parents and students that showed up. Please don't hesitate to, don't forget to make that appointment with your counselor for your senior checks. Juniors, please keep an eye on your grades, and we are hoping to see you here soon. I see a couple of things being posted on the chat room. One is a link from Mr. Padilla, and then I missed the first one. What was the first one? Yeah, if you'd like to know more information about Snow State. Okay, so anything else? Otherwise, this is it, and wish you all well, and hope to see all of you soon, face to face, sooner rather than later. Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and exit. And thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Daniel. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, translators. Thank you very much, Daniela.
Thank you. And Danielle, I know I speak fast. That was for me. Sorry.